Hello and welcome to Beyond the Bio, the recap. This week I was chatting to Andrew and Pete all about their success with the best conference I have ever been to, which is, of course, ATOMICON. If you missed Monday's episode, please do go back and take a listen. There was so much great stuff in that episode, and you will find a link to the episode in the show notes. Andrew and Pete are the business duo who help small business owners scale their business so they can stop swapping time for money. Founders of Atomic, they annually host one of Europe's largest business conferences, ATOMICON, which happens in Newcastle upon Tyne, an even bigger reason to come to ATOMICON. Winners of the Digital and Social Media Company of the Year Award and also Business Personality of the Year Award, they are ranked in the top 100 digital marketers in the world. As the authors of 2 hit books, they regularly keynote the world's largest international conferences, such as Social Media Marketing World, and have been featured on sites such as BBC, Huffington Post, B-Daily, Entrepreneur on Fire, and Forbes. I absolutely loved my conversation with Andrew and Pete, and we were talking about all sorts of things linked to conferences and events. When I think of the word conference, it conjures up an image of something really dull and boring, like a conference room in a boring, bland hotel. Everything beige and boring food and like dull content. And I think ATOMICON is literally the opposite of that. So it was so fun to be able to ask the guys what was their inspiration behind it, how the idea came about, and how do they keep making it better and better. What they told me was that they have spent and continue to spend, and I think that's important as well, time around the world going to other conferences. I mean, that sounds pretty cool, actually, to be fair. And they've been going to conferences literally around the world, so American conferences and some European ones as well. And what that did was it gave them an understanding as to what great and outstanding in that conference space could look like. It gave them inspiration, it gave them ideas, and it introduced them to some brilliant contacts throughout the world. Andrew and Pete were also talking about what was rubbish when they went to conferences and what they didn't like, and gave some examples of a conference that hasn't been so good year after year. And there's learning in that too. You don't just always learn and be inspired from the great stuff. You can learn from the stuff that is not so good as well. So I thought the conversation was really useful. I was so inspired to hear them talk about what had been a small event. In fact, it wasn't even that small. I had in my head that the original ATOMICON was quite a small event. But the guys were saying that 400 people attended that first event and that they sold out those tickets really, really quickly as well. So it's always been pretty big, but in 2025, it is likely to sell out all 1,500 in-person tickets. And of course, they live stream the event globally as well for remote ticket holders. I was really inspired by what they had to say, and it has encouraged me to already take action this week, and I'll probably have taken even more action by the time this episode of Taking Action drops. The take action this week has to be to explore a conference that is somewhere completely different to where you've ever been before. Now, I appreciate that not everyone will be able to afford the time or the cost of flying around the world to an international conference. But these days, there are remote options available for all events as well. So my challenge to you is going to be to find the most exciting looking conference in your industry, or maybe even just in a related industry. So something that you perhaps wouldn't normally go to, but you know you are likely to get value from. Do some research, speak to people that have been before, look at who the speakers are, look at what they're going to be talking about, look at this lineup, and do a bit of delving deep to find out whether you are likely to get the return on that investment of your time and or money. I've already been looking. I'm looking at going to Social Media Marketing World because Andrew and Pete said that if I go, then they'll take me under their wing and introduce me to all their friends. So there's an incentive for me to attend that next year. And I've already looked in my diary. I am available. I can go. Will travel. Can travel. Will travel. And I've looked at the agenda. There are some awesome speakers. So I'm just going to work out how I can make that full trip work and hopefully be booking that very soon. So take action this week has to be to explore what's out there, do your research, and commit to attending something you've never been before. As always, let me know how you get on, and good luck, and I will see you on Monday.